Good evening. The April 6, 2022 meeting of the West Springfield Planning Board hereby called to order at 6 p.m. In accordance with MGL Chapter 30A, I must announce that anyone intending to tape the meeting must identify themselves to the clerk and provide his or her name and address for the record. And we inform those present that any document that is to be considered or discussed must be made a part of the record of the meeting, and the original or copy must be submitted to the committee before there will be any discussion regarding that document. Documents include photos, plans, drawings, computer printouts and simulation, video presentations and the like, as well as letters and written material. Okay. 6 p.m. Country Club Partners LLC. Special permit application submitted in accordance with 300-4.5C for the reestablishment of the previously discontinued non-conforming two-family use at the property located at 2233 Westfield Street, parcel ID 100-008-003 in the Business A zoning district. The applicant is seeking to build a new two-family structure on the current vacant lot. The floor is yours.
Us tonight. My name is Bill Burke, a resident in town and a member of the Country Club Partners Group. I'm here with Don Chase, the other partner. Our request is to reestablish, as the application says, the non-conforming use. The zone is Business A, which does not allow residents, but there was a two-family there that was there when we bought the property in 2019. Actually, it was discontinued in 2019, and it was a pretty old house. It was related to me at the time that it was built in the late 1700s, and when they tore it down, I got a look at some of the way it was built, and I kind of believe it because some of the big beams were put together with wooden pegs, which hasn't been used for a long, long time. So it was a pretty old house.
Did you build that house?
Yeah, no.
Sorry,
no,
I had to.
No, but, I could have. So anyway, it wasn't really in any condition to be rehabbed. It had deteriorated over the years. Same people owned it for a good number of years, elderly people, and did what they could, but it needed to come down, which we took it down. We then spent some time reviewing the possible uses. We looked at a couple of different business uses, and after a long process, several drawings and sketches, we decided that the better fit for the neighborhood would be to go back to a residential use. So that is the reason that we're here, is to reestablish that use. I believe the zoning ordinance talks about a reestablishment within a 5-year period. The two-family use was basically discontinued, obviously, when we tore the building down, which was before June of 2019. So we're within the 5-year period. The proposal we have and the layout that we have, that you have copies of, is a duplex style building with each unit having a one-car garage. They're about 900 square feet, 2 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, full basement, bathroom, laundry, all on one floor, which we think, from our experience in residential, that this is going to be kind of a more popular use than the typical 2-story duplex. We think it'll fit well into the neighborhood. All of the setbacks, rear yards, and sidelines conform to the existing zoning, not the old zoning from 100 years ago. The old building at the time that it was built ended up to be about 10 feet away from the edge of Westfield Street. So everything now is more conforming, as you can see from the drawing we submitted. All of the access will be from Hawthorne Street as opposed to Westfield Street. which is going to be much safer and much more compatible with residential use. What we've proposed in the drawing is conforms with the requirements of the chapter in the ordinance that the off-street parking will be provided off-street on the property. No, there's no need for any on-street parking. It'll be serviced by town water and sewer, which we preserved when the old house was taken down. It'll have typical landscaping and grading that you see in all residential dwellings. There are no exterior signs planned. The yards and open spaces will conform to the zoning. Waste disposal, recycling will be available through the town system. All of the areas not used for driveway or building will be loamed and seeded and to adequately control any surface water. The proposed location is not in a floodplain or a floodway, and there are no other characteristics of what we propose that will adversely affect the environment or the character of the neighborhood. We think it's a better improvement than going back to a business use.
Well, I can tell you, from over the last couple of years, I've got a couple phone calls, very concerned about putting businesses there. So, look, if it comes out anything like your picture, that's beautiful. At this point, I have no objections. I want to hear from everybody else in the audience, and whether the town has anything. You're gonna make a bunch of neighbors happy, that I know of.
Sure.
At first, I'm looking at it, I'm like, God, backing out onto Westfield Street, I was gonna say, hey, can you put a turnaround driveway in there? But then I realized it was going out in Hathorne, so.
Right. There's an
compliment-
existing curb cut that goes onto Westfield Street, which will be discontinued.
I mean, just short of compliments, I don't know what else, that's beautiful, so. Anybody else? Good.
Bill, that's what I wanted to ask you. The original address is 2233 Westfield Street.
Yes.
Is the new address going to be Hawthorne
I
Street?
believe so. I mean, I'll have to deal with the building department on that, but I'm pretty sure that's where the front doors will be and the driveway and everything, and I think they'll assign us a new number when we apply for a building permit. That's typically the procedure.
Great. And one other thing I wanted to ask you was the side of the house that will face Westfield Street, will there be landscaping there?
Oh,
Is
sure,
that
yeah.
left, that's all?
Yeah, there's, I can't remember offhand, but there's 20 or 25-foot side yard there inside the sidewalk. And it'll all be landscaped similar to any single or two-family house.
Yeah, and my compliments to you too
Thank
on
you.
the design. It's really terrific.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Anything from the town?
No, there's no town comments.
You can grab a seat. Anybody in the audience want to speak? Name and address for the record?
Hi, Laura Torres, 18 Hathorne Avenue, West Springfield. Is this going to be rental property or just sold like condos, or is it going to be rentals?
We haven't made any kind of determination on that.
And you said no off-street parking?
No, on-street.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not building a fence either?
Yeah, hey, Bill, you, unfortunately, you gotta have,
Oh, sorry.
he's gotta come up and, so the people can hear, you gotta get up to the mic, Bill. So, oh, there he goes. All right, so why don't, just re-ask the question so that he can answer it through the microphone, please.
Will it be a rental property or some sort of condos?
It could be either. We haven't made a final determination on that pending, the permit process and everything like that. It could be, if it's a single-family house, you could rent that too, but it'll all depend on the market.
And fencing?
Pardon?
Fencing around the property for the abutters?
We haven't made that determination.
Okay.
There's a little bit of fencing on your corner, as I recall from the old house. Of course, that'll have to come down because it's pretty old. We'll talk about fencing, you know, for security purposes and decorative and things like that, but we don't have any definite plans yet.
Did I forget one? Yeah. All right, I'm done.
Thank you.
Nelson Torres, I'm on a butter of the property. I'm looking at the sketch, and it looks like it's gonna be like 10 feet from my property line to the structure. That would be on my side.
Of course, I didn't bring the plan.
I don't think,
It's about 12 feet.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
10
sorry, say that
10
again?
10 foot is the minimum that's required, but there's 12 feet that's being proposed.
Yeah. It's 12. He
I
can't,
thought it was a minimum of 15, that's what's,
not in that zone.
okay.
Yeah, it's zoned business, which actually
I
has
mean,
different.
we got a
setbacks.
screen house on that side, and we got a patio there, so,
So is that your concern about the fence also?
yeah.
So the survey plan shows the fence actually isn't on your property, Bill.
Say that again?
The survey plan shows that an existing fence is there, but not on your property. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that would be my fence.
That's your fence? The stockade one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that'd be it.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thanks.
I mean, you know, I've seen you guys work in the past. If you can, if it warrants a fence or whatever.
It's hard to tell till we get the foundation.
Right, and, you know, again, one of my favorite sayings is be careful what you wish for, because if this doesn't work, next thing you know, there's a business up there, so we gotta just do your best, if it gets approved. Anybody else? I'm good. Motion to close.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, closed.
move to approve the special permit application submitted in accordance with section 304.5C for the reestablishment of the previously discontinued non-conforming two-family use at the property located at 2233 Westfield Street in the Business A zoning district, subject to three conditions. 1, all exterior lighting shall be designed, installed, shielded, and maintained to prohibit viewing of the lighting element from and the trespass of nuisance glare on abutting properties and streets. 2, the lot shall not be developed, regraded, or altered in any manner that will increase surface water drainage to abutting properties. 3, all site improvements shall be installed and maintained in accordance with the approved plans and conditions associated with this approval. Any deviations from the approved plans and conditions shall require prior written approval by the planning board.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, approved. You're all set.
Thank you.
See ya. 605, Chris Bloom, special permit application submitted in accordance with 300-6.3E9, which requires a special permit for accessory structures greater than 600 square feet in the residential zoning district. The applicant is seeking approval to build a 14 by 30 accessory structure at the property located at 33 Wishingwell Way in Residence A1 zoning district.
I spoke with the applicant's representative, Chris Bloom, today, and they've reduced the size of the structure such that it no longer requires a special permit, so they've submitted a request to withdraw without prejudice.
Do we have to vote on it because it's on the agenda, or does it?
Yeah, so because the public hearing notice went out, you have to take a vote on the withdrawal, which you have a motion for.
Do we have to close the public hearing first, and then, I don't think so. So just,
Move to approve the withdrawal without prejudice for the special permit application submitted in the accordance with section 306.3E9 for the construction of an accessory structure greater than 600 square feet in size of the property located at 33 Wishenwell Way in Residence A1 zoning district.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, approved. Okay, 610, C-Jack Realty Associates LLP, special permit application under 300-9-2, Table 9-3, and Table 9-4B, Note 7, to allow for the installation of a 6x12 LED messaging center and refacing of the 3-foot by 14-foot panel on the existing double-sided pylon at the property located at 1081 Riverdale Street in the Planned Unit Development Zoning District.
Good evening. Christopher Seajack, 243 Pendleton Lane, Long Meadow, Massachusetts. I am the general partner of Seajack Realty Associates, Riverdale Center property manager and developer. It's pretty straightforward, as stated on the agenda. As I understand it now, I am complying. Compliance for the sign is in compliance, and this is a straightforward LED panel for both sides, visible on Riverdale Center, or Riverdale Road. Are there any questions that specifically that anyone wants to ask?
Any plans for what's gonna be displayed on there?
Whatever is allowed.
Chris, could I just ask you a question? Now that, if this signage is approved, does everybody who rents or owns property within that particular acreage, do they rent this signage from you for advertising of their location, or how will that work? How does that work?
I don't know.
Okay.
Right now, at this point, I don't have any plans of renting it.
So that would be just strictly, like,
It's taken me about 8 to 10 years to get to this point, so
I got it.
it was kind of hard to line up anybody in reference to.
You know, the reason I'm asking you is there's so many businesses within the Riverdale shops that Riverdale Center, that several people don't know exists there. And so I don't know whether or not that's something that we address in the future, just as far as their own personal advertising for their businesses, or if that's,
I'm hoping that this will give the tenants better visibility as to where they are, because every single day we get people asking within the center, where's this, where's that?
Right.
Signage, as you know, is very, very limited, and this is going to allow better locational visibility and locational direction. So I'm hoping for that.
okay, that's
Thank you.
where I was
Thank you,
going
Ben.
with that. Thanks.
So you do have plans to, that was my question, what was your plan to market on there? And you said whatever was allowed, so.
Well,
I just-
I'd be limited by whatever is allowed, obviously.
So you can't just answer the question that your tenants are gonna be advertising on?
I would like to put my tenants there. I would like to be able to say Dick's is here. I want to be able to say that Michael's is a tenant here. As you note, I do that on the other LED pylon. It's not a pylon, a monument. That's on
Daggett
Daggett
entrance.
Drive. So actually, that's a very, very good example of what I basically would be doing, and I'm possibly even thinking of just duplicating that visibility, the same type of indication and of tenancy that I'm already doing on the monument sign.
Anybody else? Down,
Yeah, so two things, just regarding renting the sign. It would have to be limited to businesses under the umbrella of the Riverdale Center.
Oh,
'cause
absolutely.
Yeah, if it goes beyond that, it becomes a billboard, which is regulated differently. But as far as town comments, the only comment we received was from the Health Department, who requested in agreement that if there's an emergency, that they display emergency messages, which I spoke with Mr. Sejack about.
That would be agreed upon. I have no problem with that. I highly suggest it as a public service.
Thank you. Nothing? Nothing else? Anybody in the audience? You're with him, right? You're, nothing to say?
Gunnar McCormick from Agnoli Sign, who would be the company that would be putting it up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 1081, go ahead.
Move to approve the special permit application submitted in accordance with section 309.2, table 9.4B, and allow for the installation of a 6-foot by 12-foot LED messaging center and refacing of the 3-foot by 14-foot panel on the existing double-sided pylon at the property located at 1081 Riverdale Street in the planned unit development zoning district, subject to 3 conditions. 1, the sign shall comply with the West Springfield zoning ordinance, section 309.2 H8D, general requirements for all electronic signs, including but not limited to the following requirements. A, the sign shall not incorporate video, animation, or scrolling of text or images. B, the brightness of the sign shall not exceed 0.3 foot candles above ambient light conditions. C, changing images or messages shall not rotate, sparkle, blink, or fluctuate in the light intensity, or use intermittent stroking or moving light, or in any manner create the illusion of movement. D, the sign shall only be illuminated between the hours of 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. unless the premises on which it is located are open for business. 2, a sign permit shall be obtained from the building department prior to the installation of the proposed sign. 3, all site improvements shall be installed and maintained in accordance with the approved plans and conditions associated with this approval. Any deviations from the approved plans and conditions shall require prior written approval by the permit granting authority.
Second.
Any discussion? Yes. That condition between 6 and 11, is that like in our,
It's
is
in
it
the
really?
ordinance, yeah.
I never noticed that. That kind of, would it be nice if it could, does your other one shut off at night? Don't answer that. I guess it's it. You don't have to answer that. Huh? Oh, right, I can't even talk to you. Public hearing's closed, sorry. We're discussing it up here. I didn't realize that they had to shut it off at 11, but whatever.
Unless the business is open, then if it's open, you can leave it on. So if one of the businesses is open, like let's say Dick's stays open till midnight at Christmas or whatever, they can leave the light on.
Okay, that's all I had. So we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, you're all set.
Thank you.
Minutes from March 2nd. Anybody can do it. So everybody, you guys were all here, right?
I was.
Move to approve the minutes of March 2nd.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstained? Aye.
Move to adjourn?
You got anything
No.
else?
Well, so we're planning on doing board reorganization, but because we're missing a member, we won't do that. The only other item I have is, we're gonna be working on an open space and recreation plan update with the planning commission. Our plan is expiring in December. There'll be a public meeting as part of that and some, working group meetings. If anybody on the planning board is interested in attending that, just let me know. And I will send you the info. That should be kicking off the beginning of May. Yeah,
I
Bev,
would
I know
too.
you did it last time. Yeah,
Yeah, you need another person, I can too.
awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. That's it.
That's it? Now you can,
Move to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, adjourned. Good night, West Springfield.